I am on a roll because I need to make up for like not being on here for like 8 months, maybe longer. Don't quote me on that. So, Red Bull Racing, man, it's so interesting to be such a fan of Red Bull Racing right now because I you know, they were so dominant, so we didn't like him. I started out as a huge Sebastian Vettel fan, especially when he was at BMW. Man, can you imagine if he stayed at BMW, if he wasn't, I don't even know, I'm pretty sure he was a BMW junior driver, and then, you know, they didn't have room for him because they just brought in Robert Kubica, and they should have just replaced Heidfeld. They just should have replaced Heidfeld at that point. But they let him go to, Dietrich Mateschitz was like, we want him. And they put him in, I think they kicked out Scott Speed, if I'm not mistaken. I think they kicked out Scott Speed. Maybe it was Antonio Liuzzi. One or the other. They put him in the Scuderia Toro Rosso in 2008, mid-2008. Okay, well, I don't want to get too bogged down with history, but I was a huge Sebastian Vettel fan. He's like 2 weeks younger than me. We're pretty much the exact same age. My birthday is 19th of June. I think his is like the 2nd or something of July. Maybe it's even the end of June. God, pathetic. And he went on such a dominant spree, and I was also an Alonso fan, so it really hurt. Like, I mean, what the fuck happened? I don't even remember which year it was. Maybe it was 2010, whatever, when he literally spins out and still wins the championship somehow. He literally spins at the first corner of Brazil. It had to have been 2010. Because Brazil was the last race of the season back then, and not Abu Dhabi. So, fell out of love with Vettel after all the dominance. I was so happy for him in his first win, by all means. And my buddy became a huge, who I was living with at the time, became a huge Seb Vettel fan, pretty much that day. And youngest world champion. And it was kind of a reset. I was like, you know what? Good for you, Vettel. That takes balls. I mean, obviously, maybe it doesn't take gigantic balls to say, hey, Ferrari wants to pay me $30–40 million a year. Yeah, I'll go there. But he was in a good team for sure, and he was comfortable there more or less. But you know, old Daniel Ricciardo is one heck of a driver. So that probably shook him up a little bit. It was like, whoa, I'm not dominant here. This guy's no Mark Webber. Not talking shit on Webber, but at all. So Red Bull 2017, apologies. Of course it's 2017. The RB13. Now I know you can't see the screen very much because it's all flipping white, but let's go to the launch, and the launch pictures. Actually, they should come up okay because they're darker. Oh, I hope that's coming out. Can I do... I think that's as full screen as I can get. So, I mean, we just went over the last cars. We didn't do too much aero breakdowns, but we could talk about one thing, SO being a big deal. No more Total sponsorship on the car. They have teamed up with Mobil 1. They jacked McLaren Honda of Mobil 1, which I don't think McLaren was stressing on too much because Honda has a good relationship with Castrol, who they went with. And but Mobil 1, of course, the Red Bull is powered by a watch, the Tag Heuer. The people who make that watch, though, is Renault. So it is technically a Renault-powered Formula 1 car. And it looks like Renault's made some serious gains in the off-season. Not in 3 laps out on, I think, maybe the second to the last day or final day of testing. So not certainly, but reliable enough in a situation. So that's good news. And it looks like a pretty powerful car. I think I just saw an article, maybe even on just this website, that says Renault is saying engine is surpassing targets set. What more could you ask for, right? Let's see what other pictures we got here. Looks like we have a loading screen. That's always fun. I kind of want to get to a picture of the Yeah, the nose. You might be able to see this. It has a hole in the nose. The Pingu nose. So, you know, kind of like how the nose worked on the Force India the last 2 years. It had those snake nostrils on the nose. I could move my microphone a little bit. The snake nostrils, which channeled air through the nose and then got it to go, you know, to the floor of the chassis. This is doing essentially the same thing. Don't ask me about its legality. So far it hasn't been, you know, protested. But air goes S duct here, but I don't think they really tie in with each other. I think they're both serve different purposes. We're going to have an intake, you know, maybe right around here for the S duct, which channels air through the chassis and then out there. Don't ask me why. There it is, RB13, unlucky for some. Now, I thought that was only in the United States. I thought that was superstition here, the 13 being unlucky. Now, we know Pastor Maldonado was number 13, and that was the unluckiest son of a gun I've ever seen in Formula 1. He also wasn't a very good driver, but people disagree with me on that. So here's something I just want to mention really quick. I'm not talking about, this is the body of the Formula 1 car right here. It almost feels like I'm touching it because the screen on my computer is matte, or the screen on my TV is matte. So it's like almost like I'm touching the F1 car. But, you know, we have the Coke bottle shape. It tucks in so much here. I personally would love to see this floor eliminated. Why do we have 1 millimeter of carbon sticking out 10, 20, 40, 50, 60 centimeters from the side of the car? Just the assembly for the DRS, which hopefully will be eliminated by the end of the season. That would be good news. Some crazy view of their nose with the Aston Martin logo, because they're doing the tie-up with Aston Martin. It's a really unique view. I guess this is probably screen grabs from the video. Hey, look who it is. That's my boy. That's my boy. That's a really cool picture, half red, half blue. It's Daniel Ricciardo. Best driver in Formula 1. Best driver in Formula 1? Or is this the best driver in Formula 1? I don't think that we could really ask for a better driver pairing. Not only do they get along, this is Daniel Ricciardo's 14, 15, 16, fourth season with Red Bull Racing. I miss Jean-Eric Vergne. Fourth season with Red Bull Racing. I thought there was a close-up of, this might work. There he is. There he is. Max, old Maxie. Cool overalls. I thought they were going to have a little bit more of that, you know, that kind of Red Bull camo that they had in the past on their swag. But Daniel Ricciardo, I think he might be the best driver. We've seen some of his overtakes. They're just his best interviewer on the grid by far. He's flipping hilarious, just super smart, great head on his shoulders. I want him to win the World Championship. If anyone could, I would want Daniel Ricciardo to be the Formula 1 World Champion. I will just throw that out there right now. There's our Max. What a driver. What a good kid. He's 19 years old, and he is taking the sport by storm, by force. I don't know if that's even a saying. So yeah, the RB13, I hope does them well. That's all my pictures. That's all my pictures. Because that's just the launch. Let's go back. Oh shit, here we go. Here we go again. Formula 1. Red Bull Racing. God. Come on, Motorsport. Just a little bit of a step up here would be nice. Renault says new F1 engine has exceeded performance targets. Big news. Uh-oh, but Ricciardo says Red Bull confused with car setup. Okay, I don't think I can just use a bunch of... hey, look at that. Oh, that's the wrong team. Can't have that. They have a week and a half. Red Bull have a week and a half to get these aero upgrades on the car. They do have a filming day at Barcelona, maybe today. Today's Tuesday, the 14th. Maybe today they're doing a filming day. Whatever. So I would venture to say that Red Bull has the best driver lineup for 2017. If that can be backed up by the Renault engine with power and reliability and drivability, of course, it's not just power. The drivability is what matters so much. And I think that's where a lot of the targets were set for Renault, was the drivability. And then, of course, Red Bull doing their part. What the shit they pulled in Monaco, which they didn't pull. They didn't do it on purpose. I'm not even claiming that. It was a gigantic misstep. We can't have that. We can't throw away wins this year. Teams, or at least 2 teams, but ideally 3 teams winning races. So that's very exciting. We shall see. We shall see what the rate of development is this year. That's going to be a huge factor. If everyone can keep up. And oh man, I really hope by the end of this year we could get engine parity. If we could get, well, it comes down to Honda, because if they don't get engine parity by the end of the season, or at least some form, some modicum of consistent reliability, but that's another video, they're going to be out of the sport. So we could freeze the f***ing regs on engines. God, they never should have had the token system, and they go, you're all even, you're all putting out 1,000 horsepower, 600 pound-feet of torque, whatever the actual number is, and that's it. You're done. But that's another video, and I say that a lot. So I'll stop this video and make another video. Go Red Bull. I want to get one of their new hats. I think I'm going to get a hat from like almost every team, because unlike other sports, which is so cool about Formula 1, you can be a fan of more than one team and of more than one driver. So what's really unique about the sport? Obviously I have my favorites, but old D-Rick, my boy. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, Daniel Ricciardo. I'd love to see you at least on the podium in Melbourne. And who knows, maybe even on the top